Cat America here profiling these credit card companies, and I just learned they're among the top advertisers on social media, so I'm wondering how much control they have over our freedom of speech. I came across a video not long ago about a YouTuber that got a job at Capital One, and, well, I'll just let him explain what happened.
First, why did I even tell them I had a YouTube channel in the first place? Well, every company that I have ever worked with has a clause in their employment contract which says I have to disclose all outside employment, which is defined by anything that I make any amount of money from. And while I make very little money from this channel, I do make money. Most of that comes from YouTube ads on my videos. I get a cut of that, but I also make some money from brand partnerships and also from my own private coaching. And it doesn't matter that I do this in my free time, because from a corporation's perspective, they own all of my time. I am not an hourly employee, so there is no sense of being off the clock, really. They own everything I create and everything that I do. Unless, of course, they give me an exception and allow me to work on one of my own personal projects. So this is why I have always had to go through and ask for permission to continue working on this channel. And at past companies, this has never ever been an issue. I worked in the defense industry, I worked at Amazon, no problem. But at Capital One, I realized it was going to be.
So wait, corporations can own humans?
If what he's saying is true, and sure sounds like it,
And honestly, I really should have seen this coming, because banks only make money if people are in debt. That is literally the business model. So when I told them that I had a channel around helping people save, I really felt like they were just looking for any excuse to tell me that I couldn't keep doing it. So first, they told me I had to stop coaching people, and their justification is that me coaching people was competition with their business. So now every time I see something saying that they want to help people, whether they bank with Capital One or not, I just kind of laugh, because that seems obviously untrue. They only want to help people with money if it makes them even more billions of dollars.
Now I get wanting to make money to take care of your employees, but trying to manipulate the system to create even more profit seems wrong, especially when it's detrimental to others.
But then just a few weeks later and a couple days before I was supposed to start, they told me I had to stop making videos at all. And their justification at this point is that people couldn't separate my work at Capital One from my personal brand and my personal YouTube channel where I talk about helping people save. Now, I think this is totally ridiculous because, again, this has never been an issue at any other company. And I don't think people watch my videos and assume that I'm talking as a representative of Capital One. My job at Capital One actually had nothing to do with money. My entire job at Capital One was around technology risk, so completely unrelated. But I don't think this was really the issue, because they even told me that even if I didn't make any money from this channel, I didn't make ad revenue, I didn't coach people, I didn't have brand deals, even if I stopped all of that and just made these videos to help people, I would still have to stop posting. Really, I just think they didn't want anybody to watch videos about how to save. And I really think that that's because the things that I talk about in these videos are a threat to Capital One. If more people were wise with their money and lived beneath their means, then less people would go to Capital One for financial advice. And that means they have less people that they can sell their super overpriced credit cards and their extremely expensive car loans to, which means they make less money. I don't think it was ever about me having outside employment. I think it was always about making sure people stayed in the dark about how to manage money.
So long story short, he agreed to take the job at Capital One, but then later quit to take another job that allowed him to keep creating content. But watching this video got me wondering if any social media platforms coded up algorithms to suppress content their advertisers have a problem with. I've put in quite a bit of time on these videos, but I don't seem to be getting any views, so I'm starting to think maybe that might be the case.
Yeah, that would be some bullshit.
Well, it might also be your cousin too, so I'm wondering that as well, but I'm just going to keep trying new things till I think I know what these algorithms are doing. It would be pretty sad to learn that most of our systems are putting profits before people, though, and if that is the case, well, I guess there's opportunity in that. I'm just an idiot, though, so what do I know? But if you happen to have any information to help me solve this mystery, please let us all know in the comments.
If you don't subscribe and hit that like button below, that's some bullshit. Squirrel!